last week's episode of Enchantments, we visited Holloman Air Force Base, located in Alamogordo, New Mexico, to attend the very popular X-Prize Cup and Holloman Aerospace Expo. The event is held every year in late October and not only features the Northrop Grumman Lunar Lander Challenge, but also one of the most impressive air shows in the world. Holloman Air Force Base is home to the most advanced and awesome air power and technology the United States has to offer.
Straight up now, it's going to run good air power. Right out of that power, he just pulls it right over the top and continues to roll the MX2 as he heads on back down now with a tap roll.
Why did Holloman Air Base decide to host this event?
Well, you know, it was actually 1 year ago, almost to the day, while we were at Las Cruces and the X-Prize Cup competition was going on, that I met Dr. Diamandis and Mark Schulman, who's the vice president. And we looked at what they were doing in terms of the entrepreneurial spirit associated with commercial space. And we, being the United States Air Force, which is the Air and Space Force, I mean, we are the leaders for space and have been now for 50 years. It's just the perfect coming together of like minds. So this ability to bring together like minds to be able to tell this very powerful story is what it's all about. And I can tell you, I couldn't be happier with the way it's come together.
What is the importance of an event like this for younger kids?
You know, yesterday we had 6,500 kids walking around this base, fully engaged in math, science, technology, shooting model rockets, involved in robotics and competitions. You know, as I told everybody throughout this year as we built this, I said, you know, after that, everything is gravy. You know, if we can inspire just 10, 15, 25% of these kids to get involved in science, math, technology, I count that as a huge score. So not only do we do this yesterday with all those children involved in the education day, focused on just them, but also all the kids that we have coming out here today. That's why you're going to see as you wander around, and I highly encourage you to interview. Any airman is fair game. Every airman that you see walking around here in uniform has got a story to tell. And I will tell you, they are the greatest treasure in our nation's arsenal. You know, these young men and women who crossed over into the blue, you know, joined our Air Force, are serving in a time of war. They're the most powerful force that we have today, and they are the story of this weekend.
What can the public expect to find when they come out here to the Air Force Base for this weekend?
Well, they're going to see, again, the first ever attempted live fly air and space show in the nation. It's the first time we've actually brought air and space together. And you know, space for years has been a very distant place that only nations or large organizations get involved in. But technology has advanced to the point where now individuals and small companies and corporations are now getting involved very heavily in the space business. So bringing space up close and personal to the public as an Air Force, as an airman, is what this is all about. So not only do we have partners and people from the commercial space side, but we also have airmen involved every day in space operations and space displays here, so that we can showcase for the nation exactly what its Air Force is doing every day.
What advice would you have for youngsters who are interested in becoming pilots?
Well, I'll tell you that first and foremost, you ought to study hard, work hard. You know, there's no secret steps to get into the cockpit other than hard work. And I will tell you that we are eagerly looking for young men and women who are looking to serve their country and do that in the United States Air Force. I mean, all of our services are right now looking for our best and brightest to come our way, but clearly as an airman, I will tell you that we are eagerly recruiting our young men and women to think about the United States Air Force as an option.
How many people do you expect to visit the base this weekend for this event?
You know, we're shooting for 100,000. That's what we're shooting for. That's why I say it's the largest event of its kind ever attempted in the history of southern New Mexico. And as you look around here, I mean, what a beautiful area. You know, we call ourselves here in Alamogordo the friendliest place on earth. You know, you may have seen the signs coming in, and let somebody prove that we're not. Alamogordo, Otero County, Las Cruces, El Paso. This is just a very magical region.
What is Holloman's Air Force Base's claim to fame?
Well, I'll tell you that we're extremely proud of all the things that we got going on here, and the Team Holloman story really is about 18 different organizations all coming together. Not only the 49th Fighter Wing, where we fly the F-117, we've got the German Air Force Training Center, we have the longest test track in the world, land speed record of Mach 8.5 right now that we do right here on this base. We've got the U.S. Space Command represented here. We have got 18 different organizations all operating here at Holloman Air Force Base, about the size of Washington, D.C., and we all come together to provide visible support and invisible attack for the nation. And that is not what I would say our claim to fame, but I would say something we are very proud of.
What is your favorite piece of machinery on the tarmac today?
Well, I have to tell you that as a Nighthawk pilot, we are the privileged few that have been chosen to fly and fix this airplane into its final retirement. We will likely fly the F-17, the final F-117 in retirement in April of 2008. And I'll tell you that that's a story that's just the most incredible. I think it's the greatest secret our nation has ever kept. But we're equally excited about the F-22 that will come to Holloman Air Force Base, the first of which will arrive in June of 2008.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you so much for your time.
You bet. Right on.
The day before the expo opens to the general public, the press and students from neighboring schools are invited to explore the expo and enjoy. The press have a field day, and the students truly have a wonderful hands-on experience involving them in everything from up-close private tours, rocket building, rocket launching, expo hall exhibits, to meet and greets with pilots, astronauts, engineers, scientists, and others associated with Holloman Air Base and the X Prize Cup. So what do you guys like best about the X Prize Cup and the air show?
I like that where they make loops.
The airplanes?
Yeah, where the
What-
airplanes make loops.
What do you guys like about the X Prize Cup?
I like where the first airplane went out, the black one, and he started to do the loops. That was cool. And I thought when he went straight up, I thought he was gonna stall out.
What about you?
I like the stunt airplanes too.
Have you guys seen any spaceships or anything really cool here?
No,
Not yet,
no.
because they're going to have a bunch of rockets and spaceships, in a competition here.
Cool.
Yeah, so what do you think about that?
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah? This is kind of cool that you guys can come out and do this, huh?
Yeah. Look, there's some taking
There
off
they
right
come.
now.
Yep, there's always something flying around here, huh?
Yep.
All right, well, you guys have a good time and enjoy, okay?
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you. Hi, New Mexico.
This unique open house draws engineers, scientists, airmen, astronauts, space enthusiasts, students, and teachers from all over the globe to see what is new and cutting edge in the aerospace industry. One of Holloman's pride and joys is the infamous F-117A Nighthawk, a precision strike aircraft featuring digital avionics, laser-guided missiles, and the world's first operational stealth system. So how does it feel to fly one of the most advanced aircraft in the world?
Well, to be honest, it feels pretty cool. First of all, to fly the F-117, there's not many of them. So kind of like the old SR-71, it's an honor. It's an honor to take into retirement. It's pretty exciting, the technology in of itself. And shoot, it's just fun. It moves fast. I like it.
And how does one become an actual jet fighter pilot?
Well, what you need to do is, first of all, doing well in school. Be athletic as well, too, because it's some serious demands on the body itself. But go in there to school, get good grades, be active, participate in a lot of extracurricular activities after school, and make those known. And once you get into college, join an ROTC, join the military, and make it known that you want to go to pilot training. And then once they've determined medically that you can, then you go there, and then you basically it's entering tryouts. So once you enter tryouts, you figure out how well you do and what plane you should go to.
In a sense, you got to make the cut, right?
Oh yeah, you have to work hard, and you have to to get what you want to fly, you have to earn it.
What kind of G's do you pull in this machine?
This aircraft it's rated up to 6, which is about when any kind of aircraft or fighter size aircraft is laden up with bombs. That's about what you're limited to, just because a 2,000 pounder, times 6 times the force of gravity weighs quite a bit on the pylon. But do you really pull that? This aircraft, its tactic is really you exploit the stealth. So if you're pulling G's, potentially something is wrong, or you're getting rolled in on, or somebody's attacking you. But if you need it, it's there for a quick maneuver.
Right.
But it's nowhere near as maneuverable as, say, an F-15 or F-16, and then the F-22 is in a class all by itself.
Right,
so,
right. What is the difference between flying the stealth and some of the other fighter aircraft?
Well, you're first off, the F-117 has always been rumored to be a bad handling aircraft. That is not true, and it's fully aerobatic, handles quite nicely.
Yeah.
Compared to the F-15, a little bit more authority. The F-15 has more thrust because we don't have afterburners on this thing.
Right. So as a youngster, were you always kind of interested in airplanes, and did you always want to be a pilot?
Oh yeah, man, I was an Air Force brat, and kind of like the air show we're at today. I grew up going to air shows and car shows, and so once you see them flying around and you hear jet engines, and just it's big monster truck rally, except things are flying, and it's pretty exciting. And then after that, I was hooked.
Why is an event like the X Prize Cup so important?
Because as a profession, you're doing your profession a disservice if you don't recruit new talent. And this is an exciting profession. There's a lot to do, and especially with X Prize space, it's ever expanding, and now it's going commercial. Even more opportunities within that. Well, we want to recruit the best that's out there, and there's no better way than these kind of shows to show you, hey, what's out there, but also to talk to the guys who are wearing the suits, who are doing the job, to find out what they need to do, and what do they do for that job. If you have any questions, we're here to answer them, and that's a pretty good opportunity.
What's your best advice for a youngster who would like to be a pilot?
Keep looking at those planes, keep loving them, and what you need to do is just do me a favor, just stay in school, do well, stay out of trouble, stay in athletics, and then participate in those extracurricular activities, because as a military member, you contribute back to your community just by the nature of your job. So if you start that off the bat, then you'll be primed to come to this job.
The F-117's sophisticated fly-by-wire flight control system and autopilot allows the pilot to use the F-117A's sensors to locate and find his target and destroy it with his guided weapons with pinpoint accuracy, all in the dead of night without the enemy even know he's there. Nighttime is when the F-117A shines in combat.
With F-117 retiring in April 2008, a new bird is about to make its nest at Holloman Air Force Base. The incredible F22 Raptor is one fighter not to be messed with.
Watch. Keep your eye now on the Raptor with the maximum pull here on takeoff.
It is a fifth-generation American fighter aircraft which also utilizes the latest in stealth technology. This bird entered the U.S. Air Force in December 2005. It is hailed as the most advanced tactical fighter aircraft in history. It is equipped with ground attack, electronic warfare, signals intelligence, and dominates all other fighting aircraft now and in the projected future. And people love to watch it. Its sophisticated and sleek aero design, advanced flight control systems, thrust vectoring, and high thrust-to-weight ratio provides incredible and sometimes unbelievable maneuverability. Did I also say that it is totally wicked looking? I should know. It parked itself literally 15 feet from my head while I was filming it. fly a machine of this caliber, it doesn't only take a pilot. It is truly a team effort, and every person on the flight crew is an integral player in the success of such an aircraft, flying a mission, and returning home safely. The air show not only features vintage planes of the past, but also the most advanced fighting planes in the world. The U.S. Air Force has been dominating the skies for over 60 years and continues to lead the way in technology, not only for the United States, but also for its allies spread out across the globe. The different aircraft at the air show are too numerous to count, but the crowd truly enjoyed the vintage aircraft, like this B-25 Pacific Prowler, made famous as the most versatile medium-range bomber in World War II. They also love the super high-performance air show put on by Rob Holland and his amazing MX-2. A specially constructed epoxy carbon fiber aircraft which can reach speeds of over 300 miles per hour. Another crowd pleaser is the wing-walking demo team of pilot Kurt Wicker and Carol Pylon. She's the brave gal who wing walks on a beautiful modified Stearman biplane with no cables or harnesses. The sleek and beautiful B-1B is always an eye-grabber, as you can see here. Some of the best and most interesting air performances were live demonstrations put on by local law enforcement.
With a full crew of pilots and technical officers to enforce the laws of our nation.
The CV-22 is one of the most innovative and creative aircraft ever produced. A combination of vertical takeoff and landing capabilities, rotating wings, and fuel-efficient turboprops allows the CV-22 to be an adaptable fixed-winged aircraft and helicopter, which can get in and out of almost any predicament. It is truly spectacular to watch, and it is a definite crowd grabber. The quality of the airmanship and techniques are unmatched at the Holloman Air Show, as seen here by the tight-knit Lima Lima flight team. The beautiful bright yellow T-34s are so perfectly flown by a premier civilian flight squad that it is mesmerizing once they are airborne. One of the most intriguing and fun displays at the air show was the rocket racers. These little rockets with wings are in a class all to themselves. The Racing League was created by X-Prize founder Peter Diamandis and Indy champion driver Granger Whitelaw. Top pilots will actually race each other through a three-dimensional track in the sky. I thought this idea was so cool, I just had to fly the simulator game myself, which was a blast.
Total rush, but for some reason I keep crashing. There we go.
After all the exploring and fun to be had at the expo, one does work up an appetite. But don't worry, there are plenty of food and drink vendors on site to feed a hungry troop or squad. All in all, the planes are amazing and mesmerizing, and you have to see each and every one to understand the immense power and dedication our Air Force has in keeping the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness alive and well in the good old US of A. We salute those who risk their lives every day for the principles of freedom which we as Americans hold so dearly in our lives. We must preserve and promote science, technology, and engineering because they play such a huge part in creating a safe, free, competitive, and adventurous society which truly embraces life and all it has to offer. What a rush. There is so much to see and do at the X Prize Cup Aerospace Expo. It will blow your mind. Next October, get down here to Holloman Air Force Base and have an awesome time. Your kids will love it, and so will you. We'll see you on the next episode of Enchantments, and until then, recycle, reduce, reuse, and keep your environment clean and green.